Welcome to Shanies Sunshine Lounge, where the stars come out to play. I'm Ronnie B, and Shanie gave me the keys to the lounge. Today, we have the return. Did I say the return? We have the return of an awesome guest, internationally renowned jazz saxophonist, Mike Phillips. And we have a special treat. We're going to hear Watching You featuring Brian Mcknight. Mike, thank you for joining us again here at the lounge.
Thank you so much. What's going on?
Oh man, as you know, there's politics in the air. They still shooting folks that look like us unarmed, and COVID-19 ain't took a rest. But we're gonna put that aside because we gotta have some spirit going in around here. Now, man, Mike. The last time you were on and you had mentioned something, I just wanted you to kind of refresh our memories, okay?
Okay.
And you said something about being a trombone player.
Yeah, man, I got the horn when they finally gave me my instrument. The horn that I received was actually a trombone. And I was like, I wanted... I didn't know the difference between the trombone and the sax, so I was like, nah, we need to switch this thing out. And I got the sax, but yeah, I wanted the trombone, and it was like, okay, nah, that's not what I wanted. I didn't know the name of the instrument, so my bad. Here I am now.
But it was something about the girls.
Yeah, well, like trombone was an instrument where you got seen because if you were marching in the parade, you can't be in the back of the line because you'd hit somebody with the slide. So, you'd be marching in the front and you're like, oh my God, they go Mike Phillips. He's in the front of the parade. All I wanted to do was to be seen.
Yeah, I got that. So even at a young, tender age, he was an old school player. Okay, I understand, Mike. All right, man. We got a couple of questions for you over on Lounge Talk. And the first one, now we have all been young, thank goodness, as my father always say, if you want to stay young, you got to die early. So I'm trying to hang out,
Exactly.
Now, but as a young person, things happen. And would you please share an embarrassing moment you had as a young musician that you kind of laugh at yourself today?
Oh, well, what's that music teacher's name in 7th grade? My 7th grade music teacher, I did something and I got suspended from school. I think I was fighting or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I missed a band performance that was really important. So as a form of me being accountable, I had to write a letter and then read it to the band.
Oh.
Yeah. It was like, it was embarrassing because it put me on the spot, but it was great because it helped me understand early the spirit of accountability that you need when you do things wrong. So I was in a fight or something like that, and then I couldn't play in the band for I think 5 days. And then the thing that I had to play for was on Wednesday, but if you're suspended from Monday to Friday, then you can't do nothing. And it was a competition, and I let the band down. So, yeah, I had to stand up in front of the whole band when I was in 8th grade.
You say, it's those are things along the way that become moments of truth.
Yes.
And I'll just say that kudos to the band instructor for, giving you the space to, as they say, redeem yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, not make you bad or wrong. Let you redeem yourself. Go ahead and own this.
You're gonna own this and get back in this band and play a little horn that you never played it before.
Now, obviously you love music. I mean, so that's kind of. But what do you enjoy? I mean, there's what you perform, but what do you enjoy?
The serenity of being on the golf course with people that you love, that you can compete with. Yeah, golf is just my escape. It is my escape. It's my getaway.
Oh, okay. Now, see, I grew up in a time where if a black man showed up on the golf course with a club, it was a situation.
I hear you. I mean, those situations are happening right now. It's kind of like, the guy that went ahead and with the AR-15 that shot people are donating to his legal defense fund, and there's a whole spirit of sympathy towards him. So, there are things that can only change by the elimination of ignorance that can only come from education and someone being so accountable that they can change their perspective. And that's a lot of movement for people who have been handed down the generational curse of racism. You're asking a lot, but it can be done.
As they say, all things can be done with time and effort.
Yeah, well,
sometimes, and it may not be our time. Don't mean exactly. That's the thing. I would love for things to happen but it don't work that way. All right. Now, have you ever written a song for a cutie pie?
You know what? Yeah, like, I remember
like more than one.
I was in high school and I was like, yo, I wrote this melody for you. Oh my God, that's so nice. I was like, cool. He was like, all right, cool. You down? Yo, I wrote this melody for you. And whatever melody sticks, that's what you go with.
Man. All right. And man, there's sometimes you have to use your talent. I put it like that.
Hey man, whatever you want, you create the scenario that can build the advantages so you can get what you want. So I use my horn. I was like, I might, I might not be, I'll be sure out here, but I can hit you with this horn and we're gonna be good.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. The person who was as corny as he was on television, in many ways was a good role model for, I'll say, young teens. And that was Earl.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was just him. He was like, look, I'm me and I'm jamming. And I almost want to say, okay, I'm kind of hesitating, but just because of the show itself, but JJ.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they did their thing. They were like, look, I'm artiste, I'm whatever, and in many ways, it was like I said, like they would just be them.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I think we've gone. We live in the monkey see, monkey do society now, where individuality and having your own sauce is something that isn't really championed because of everybody being somebody else, because of the perpetuation of images that are mainly on media now. So people get to see what they want to be over and over again until they do so many things where they try to be it. But man, I love the fact that, when you look at these characters that were etched out, those two in particular, what's striking is the fact that they were written for them to be extremely unique in the actions and how they filtered information. So I say that to say this. I love that. I think even in the artist community, we suffer from that, because as soon as we hear something that hits, then you hear another song, So guess what? Now everybody sounds like what is successful until something else comes along, and then everybody sounds like that. One thing I've taken pride in is making sure that the individuality of who I am as a musician, as a person, shines through in my brand.
That is, as you were saying that mimic, creativity demands courage. It does, and when oftentimes we think of creativity, it's around like a brilliance, an idea. And it's like, dude, you got ideas. People got ideas left and right. But do you have the courage to do the work that it takes to have that idea become something? Or to just even put it out there and deal with whatever people say.
Yeah.
Because they're going to say something,
Good or bad. And then you can't be, we're sensitive about our art, but not so sensitive that somebody's word can shift the paradigm of your spirit.
Oh, no. Yeah, got it. And on that eloquent note, now, I kind of go back. I go back a little bit, and I was like sitting up here going, now this brother done brought out a slave too. Now you done went and got Slave out the archives and decided to work with him. Now I'm like, now wait just a minute. And then you went and got my song, Watching You. Now I'm like, look, the brother was raised right. Because he got some good taste. So we're going to let the audience check out Mike Phillips featuring Brian Mcknight in a tune I would have never thought. Watching You.
I'm looking at you from the corner of my eye. I can see you now. You're stepping so high and high. Watching ladies go by watching you, looking so fly and high. Walking down the street, watching ladies go by watching you. I got my eye on you, yes I do. Walking down the street, watching ladies go by watching you. So fly, so fly, so fly. Walking down the street, watching ladies go by watching you. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go, swaying, blowing my mind. You got everything, grooving in time. God gave her beauty, she carries it well. I'm staring at your heart, baby, hoping you can tell. Walking down the street, watching ladies, I'm not watching you. I'm
that brought back some memories. I'm going to tell you, when that song was out, I was getting into all sorts of trouble. But
Man.
So I'm glad that man, that was a nice little, but I'm going to tell you, I would not have figured Brian Mcknight singing that song, but it had me look. I heard a lyric for the first time that I had never heard before. And now I'm a single guy and I'm looking, okay? And I like women, you know, more than one woman. I like pretty women, period, especially if they have money. The more money they have, the more pretty.
This dude is wild.
The more pretty they look to me, baby. You know, rich women need love too. Now,
wow.
And the line was, "I'm staring at your heart. Hope you can tell." And I was like, "Oh man,
Man, I like that." Like,
now like I said, I hadn't quite heard that lyric. I go, now that's the Mac line right there. You can work with that one. So, what had you go? I'm gonna put this track together. What was that idea?
Well, the feeling of it, I wanted to be Jamiroquai-ish. That's why you hear like the different groove. And I loved watching you. You know, I love the song, but I wanted to put it in a different space. So if you imagine the Jamiroquai's band doing it and Brian Mcknight singing it, that's what I wanted it to feel like. So kind of like using, cross-pollinating two ideas. The European soulful funk of what Jamiroquai would do and the sultry singing of Brian Mcknight over something that's groovy. So that was the goal, and you know, I just hope that people enjoy it. You know, we're not, you know, when you do covers, the first thing you do is you pay homage to the song that you're doing. Then second of all, you do something different with it, and third of all, you don't mess with the integrity of the song that's already existing. You just push it to have some different colors and, you know, let it taste a little different, but still allow the song to be exactly what it was that made it legendary in the first place.
Wow. I love that. Okay, now, in your opinion, and you get to have one, what would you say is the biggest challenge facing new artists today, given just everything that's going on? What do you feel is their biggest challenge?
Their biggest challenge is not being supported by the generation that's in front of them. Because look at it, there's no record labels now. So back in the day, you know, I was probably one of the last jazz artists that eked through with the budget. Hidden Beach had me and Jill Scott. They spent some money on us, and we got out there and, you know, radio campaigns, blah, blah, blah. So now that doesn't exist. So when you have great new talent, the established musicians literally have to do the legwork that the labels used to do so they can get the shine that they deserve so their career can start. So now how does that happen? When the youngin that I see, when he comes out and he has a record out and I see it on my radar, if I look on the gram or Facebook or YouTube, I fly him out, I rehearse him and let him play a couple songs on my set. And then I bring him to the merch table and promote the fact that you get my album and his album. And then people play it and people notice him on stage. So if you have a festival of 5,000 people and you have 200 people that went to the merch table to buy his record, now I've helped through one action and maybe a little bit of money that I had to spend, help stimulate and jumpstart somebody's career in the live space that can't be done by a label that doesn't exist.
Yeah. One of the things is dealing with the reality that's in front of you, you know, and if the reality in front of you is that, look, the context of how you have to get yourself out there, promote whatever it is, whether that's a marketing company or a record or a pair of shoes. You must take advantage of the structures that are in front of you right now. And you might have to put a little bit more into it than you originally started. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you know, you're an artist, and I suspect that you have you're kind of particular, or, you know, you like things to be in order, I's dotted, T's crossed, especially when it comes to your performances.
Yes.
Now, have you ever had a performance where you didn't like it, but everybody else was like, man, that was great, but you were like, you know what, I didn't like this.
Yeah, I mean, you have many performances like that because you gotta be the critic. You have to be the person that know you missed something so you can go back and practice it. So yeah, most of those things are not prevalent to the non-musical judgmental ear. But but my thing is I still have a level of standards that I have to, that just because I get cheered for doesn't mean that standard goes away.
Oh, yeah. You know, and there's, I think it was there was this famous, and if I remember, a pianist, and he would practice the chords, he practiced that. And it was one night after a really great performance, everybody, you know, yelled, screamed, he went, and they said, well, look, we got the party. He said, well, look, I got to go practice. And they asked him, well, look, you know, you done played that a gazillion times. Don't you know it already? He said, I almost got it right. You know? Yeah. So it's that level of perfection that you demand. Yeah. Well, last question. If you had a magic wand and you could make one thing happen to make a difference, what would it be?
It would take the baton that's been generationally handed down to white people as it pertains to racism. So me eliminating it will eliminate your privilege, your feeling of superiority, which actually doesn't exist, and the motives of why you feel you get a hands up by trying to oppress people in a culture. So if I had a magic wand, that's definitely going away.
With you. All right.
Yeah, that's a little bit more worth the money, because if there's no oppression and I have opportunity, then I can make the money real easy. All right. I don't necessarily want a magic wand for money to appear. I want the magic wand to create the opportunity so I can get it.
Yeah. You don't want to be lucky. You want to create it.
Yeah, here, brother. Here's a piece of fish. Well, can you teach me how to fish? No. We can't do that.
You know, I like what we say at Old Grumpy Radio Network on our business, because we have a business side, and what we say on our business side, which has very little to do with the content, is that we don't teach people to fish. We teach people to fish with a net.
Oh yeah.
With a net. We want you to win the game. Well, Mike, wow, it's just really been great. How can our listeners reach out, check out what you got coming up? What's on your plate?
Yeah, well, to get updated on everything, Mike _Phillips at IG.
Okay, all right. Google, Facebook, you'll find them. And I love watching you, man. Once again, we're going to thank you for being our guest here at the lounge. We hate that Shanie had to deal with a family emergency. Our blessings go out to her. And I'm Ronnie B. This is Shanies Sunshine Lounge, where the stars come out to play.